How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about AMC, which posted up a nice green day. I was saying we want to see it test that $16 level. It was able to pull that off, and it was able to close right around $16 as well, which would be $16.06 to be exact. So I won't waste any more time. Let's just jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the selling and the buying behavior on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for AMC. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $16.06, being up 6.64%. On the low, it tested $15, and then on the high, testing $16.25. When taking a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 41.046 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 55.126 million shares. So what we noticed right away, we did have below average volume on the day, but we still saw strength in AMC stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 27.76. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here in the chart, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA. So what we saw from AMC today was able to give us a bullish signal because we were able to form a higher low. So going into tomorrow, what do you want to see? We want to see AMC make that move to see if it can get into the $17 range. Again, if we see continued strength inside of the market, I feel this is very doable for this stock. I was talking about $15 being a key area. It ended up serving as support and was part of the reasons why we were able to make that move to $16.25. So if we end up having a pullback or if we decide to consolidate, then most preferably I want to see us hold up at least around $15.30. If we could hold around $15.30, and then again, if we could see more momentum coming into the market, then I could see this stock still getting to $17. We have to understand, AMC is a stock that has a lot of demand inside of the market, and this is why if we have buying pressure coming in, we could see strong moves. It wasn't too long ago, if you look at the date back here on January the 25th, we ended up seeing a high around the 1660s, and then the day after, making that strong pop going into around $18.27. So it is very possible for us to pull off another pop for this week, so I will be keeping an eye on that. But just know, if we break through that $15 level, that's where we start visiting back into the 14s, and then of course we have to see what the stock can do from there. So now let's go into the short interest information. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for AMC. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the recent filings for January the 31st, we have Schneider Downs Wealth Management Advisors LP that purchased just over 10,000 shares, and we also have Equitech Proprietary Market LLC that purchased 300. Oh, it was actually a put position. And then when we take a look again, Equitech Proprietary Markets LLC with a closed position, and then when we see CMB Bank that purchased 235 shares as well. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 59.49%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 16.33 million shares. Scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 1.8 million, updated 14 minutes ago, and then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 1.09%. 0.03. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of January the 27th, it's at 62.72, and then for the close of the 28th being at 59.49. So it'll be very interesting to see what the numbers will be later on in the evening, but one thing that remains the same, AMC does have short squeeze potential. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for AMC. So we see here on the inflow it's at 97.62, and then on the outflow it's 102. So we ended up having an outflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, on the large it was 0, on the medium it was 62.72, and then on the small it was 34.90. Taking a look at the outflow side, on the large it was 0.81, on the medium it was 66.01, and then on the small it was 34.86. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for January the 31st, which is today, it being at negative of 0.81 million. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling, but it was very close, being at 34.90 million versus 34.86 million. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. Of course, when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 8.04%. So this is up there for a stock like AMC, but we know it's extremely volatile. There's also a good amount of traders that are going in and out of this play as well. So this is why you want to make sure you're prepared for the risk, and why I say you do your homework, you do your due diligence, and you have a good idea of the stock that you're actually in and how the price actually moves. So now let's go into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for AMC in regards to the price action, it was great that we were able to hold up the $15 level. It served as a strong area of support, and we were able to make that pop to 16, closing at $16.06. So going into tomorrow, if we end up having a pullback, I'd want to see us hold support around $15.30. This will give us that bullish sign in regards to building higher lows. Plus, on top of that, I feel that more buyers will tend to step in if they see strength in AMC stock. And if we do get that, and we do see strength inside of the market with more retail coming in and buying up shares, then we can look forward to seeing a pop potentially going to $17 and as well as $18. We did this not too long ago, so again, it is very doable for us to do that again. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. But if you've been in this play long enough, you already know that already. But I just want to warn you guys, if we end up having a pullback inside of the market or any sort of a sell-off, we want to see $15 hold. If it does not hold, this is where we can start going back into the low 14s. So I just want to make sure that is something you're aware of. So do your homework, do your due diligence. Plus, on top of that, if you have been adding to your position when it comes to this play, I highly suggest that you use a dollar cost averaging approach. There's so much volatility, so you don't need the FOMO at the end of the day. And I just want to make sure that I'm being very clear about that. And just because we see that the entire market was looking great, everybody was buying and so forth, it doesn't mean that's a great time for you to buy. You want to be buying on the red days, and just making sure when you take advantage of those type of positions, you have a game plan. That's all I want to emphasize, because it's so funny when I see, okay, everyone's like, all right, I'm going to come out and buy everything. So I'm like, why weren't you buying when the market was red? You know what I mean? But you guys already know what I'm trying to say. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.